Hello my yogi friends, thank you for joining me today and welcome to this practice. So today we're going to focus on really returning to our practice, which is also a way of returning to a connection with our bodies. So this is going to be quite a gentle practice. You're going to have some options to tap into your core because that's our center, our powerhouse. So when we act in the world with a consciousness of our mind, of our bodies, we're also connected to our center, to our solar plexus. So you're going to have that option. But of course there are variations for you to adjust according to how you feel today and also where you're at in your own practice, in the development of your practice. So let's get started. So we'll begin today's practice by lying down. So go ahead and find your way onto your mat so that your back is facing the ground. And allow your hands, your arms and your legs to rest out comfortably to the side. Take a deep breath in here, and maybe as you exhale, sigh it out. And let your body grow heavy here as you feel the contact of the back of your head, the back of your arms, your shoulder blades, your legs and heels. Feel the contact of those body parts with the mat, with the ground. And I'd like to invite you to think about the feeling of being weightless. So it often happens that people might think that being weightless is about not having any weight. But I'd like to invite you to think about it as a form of release. So instead of having no weight, it's about surrendering to the natural weight of the body. So when we feel heavy, it's often because we carry a lot of tension in our muscles. And that creates almost this feeling that we have to hold ourselves. Like we have to hold our arms, our legs. When our body already does that naturally, if we just release and allow it to carry its own weight. So bearing that in mind, we're going to try to move with this sense of weightlessness, using as little effort as possible, but moving smoothly and with stability. And when you're ready, hug one knee into the chest and then the other knee. And you're welcome to stay still here, or if you like, you can begin to rock gently from side to side, massaging your lower back. And when you're ready, extend the arms out to the side into a T shape. And we're going to inhale, bringing the calf muscles parallel to the mat. And then as you exhale, drop your knees to the right. And then inhale the knees up and drop them to the left. Inhale up again. And exhale, drop them right. And last time to your left side, moving slowly and with control. And then inhaling the legs up to center again. Exhale, hug the knees into the chest one more time. Press the back of the body into the mat. Press your spine into the mat. Grow tall. And then as you next inhale, we're going to start peeling the head off the mat and drawing the nose up to the sky. Shoulders come off too. And when your nose can't go any higher, then draw it into the knees. Exhale, release the body back to the ground. And then one more time. Inhale, sending the nose up and then in. Exhale, release the ground. And then last time, tapping into your core strength, waking that up. Inhale to come up and in. And exhale, release. And then from here, we're going to start rocking back and forth. So start really small, and then start to broaden your movement. Try to avoid touching the toes onto the ground as you come forward. Balance a bit here. Whoops. And if you do touch, then just take a moment to come back, find your balance again. Massage your spine here. And then as you next come forward, cross your shins over and come to a comfortable seated position. So from here, we're going to inhale the hands to the side, up and over the head. And when you reach your fingertips up, try to reach up a little bit taller. Grow long through the side of your body, through the side of your rib cage. Gaze upwards. Exhale, palms through heart center. One more time. Inhale, fingertips to the side and up. Exhale through heart center. And then from here, place one palm on either knee. And we're going to start sending the heart center forwards, inhaling halfway. And then exhale, drawing the spine, the belly button back halfway. And then again, inhale, sending the heart forwards. Exhale to round through the back. Gently using your hands here to support this movement. So we're not pressing into the knees with the hands too much, but we're using them to help us guide and shape the movement here. And keep flowing through that, following your own breath. And when you're ready, reverse your direction. And then as you next inhale, come to center. And this time we're going to roll out the neck a bit. But just before we do that, we're going to first tuck the chin into the chest, lift the heart, and lengthen through the back of the neck, and even a bit through the shoulders. And then inhale to gaze up. Keep your neck nice and supported here. Open the shoulders, draw them down. And then exhale, release the head and start to roll out the neck. And notice the sensations here. Notice if there are any spots where you want to rush over. See if you can breathe into them. And keep your movement nice and consistent. And when you're ready, begin to rock your head to the other side. Roll it out to the other side. And really just relax into this last movement. And then inhale to come to center. Slowly begin to place one palm on the mat and then the other. And then we're going to come onto our knees. So we're going to stack the knees beneath the hips and the palms beneath the shoulders. So just before we move here, we're going to inhale and flow a bit through our cat and cows. So we're going to inhale the tailbone up, the head comes up, shoulders down the back and the belly button drops. Exhale, drop the tailbone, drop the shoulders and the head, and the belly button draws up to the sky. Inhale to extend the spine as the tailbone comes up, head up. Exhale, round through the spine, press into the mat to really feel this motion as you round, feel the upper body, feel the shoulders. And then as you inhale, press into the mat again, but draw the palms towards you to help spiral the heart center forwards. And exhale, round. And then inhale, coming to center. Tuck the toes under here and start to peel your knees off the ground very, very slowly. Keep them nice and bent and send your tailbone up as you press the base of the fingers into the mat. And when the tailbone can't go any higher, straighten one leg out at a time. Begin to pedal the feet and start to release the hamstrings, the back of the knee. Maybe even invite a gentle sway from side to side. Really help yourself move into this pose as comfortably as possible. And then from here, I'm going to invite you to flow a bit by engaging the core. So we're going to inhale and we're going to come onto our toes. And we're going to move in a wave-like movement by shifting the shoulders forwards and then dropping the hips, adjusting the pose if you need to come into your plank position. Round at the back, and then as you exhale, first shift your heels forwards and then send the tailbone up and back, moving like a wave. If you need to, you can do the same thing on your knees. So we're going to shift the weight forwards and then we're going to round it back. So we're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale, shifting the weight forwards. And then exhale, finding your plank variation. And then inhaling here and exhaling into your down dog. And then inhale, gaze forwards one more time. Shift the weight forwards into your plank pose. And then I'm going to invite you to hold it here, knees on the ground or lifted. You can stay still, or you can begin to rock the hips side to side. So we're releasing through the spine, even stretching it out a bit, but in a supported way because our core is nice and engaged. And then go ahead and find your way back into your down dog. And take a couple of breaths here to release the body. If you need to, you can also come into child's pose by bringing the knees down. Keep them nice and wide and bring the big toes to touch. Extend the arms out in front of you and drop the forehead to the mat. Connect to your breath as you rest in your chosen pose. And if you're in child's pose, inhale to come up onto all fours. Exhale to find your way into your down dog. And all together, we're going to inhale to gaze to the front of the mat. And we're slowly going to walk very small steps here towards the front of the mat. And then when you reach the front, just release the upper body. Shake the head out, no, yes. Shake the shoulders out a little bit too. And then grab the opposite elbows and start to balance side from side, side to side. Just rolling from one side to the other. And you can even invite a little bounce here. Maybe releasing a bit at the lumbar spine, helping you fold at the hips. Remembering always that we fold from the hips and not from the back. You can continue to shake your head out a little bit if you need to make sure you can release your neck. And then release the arms. And as you inhale, you can either bring your hands to your shins or you can bring your fingertips to the mat. We're going to inhale and come into half back. So we're going to extend the spine gaze forwards. And then you're going to exhale, release the spine. And from here, we're slowly going to unravel the spine by generously bending the knees and start to stack your spine vertebra by vertebra, moving up slowly. And then your head comes up last, followed by your hands and arms that reach the sky. Maybe gaze towards the fingertips. And if you can, bring the palms to touch. Inhale here again. And then as you next exhale, draw the palms through heart center and swan dive forwards. Inhale to find your flat back, coming halfway up. And then as you exhale, you're welcome to flow through a vinyasa or find down dog or child's pose. If you choose to flow through your vinyasa, find your way into your plank position. Round through the upper body. And then as you exhale, either draw into chaturanga or all the way down. And then inhale into upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to find your down dog. And take a couple of breaths here or in child's pose. And then when you're ready, if you're not in down dog, find your way back to your down dog. And then inhale the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, you're going to draw your left knee behind the left wrist. Extend the right leg to the back. And we're going to work towards bringing our shin as close to parallel to the front of the mat as possible. But this is just a guideline. So we don't need to have our shin parallel, but this is going to intensify the stretch. So you can adjust your leg according, and you can listen to what's happening here. So if there's a bit of a tensing, a contraction, so you want to ease off a bit. So we want to feel the stretch, but we don't want to go too deep so as to cause our body to contract and not release any further. So inhale, bring the fingertips to the side of the body, lengthen through the spine, and then as you exhale, fold forwards. You can come onto your forearms. You can even place one hand on top of the other and place the forehead on top of the palms, or bring the forehead all the way to the mat. And whichever variation you've chosen, focus on squaring out the hips by pressing both the front of the right hip into the ground and the outer left hip. Also bring your attention to the upper back, to your shoulders and your jaw. Notice if you're tensing up there. If you are, then you might want to ease off, come out of the pose slightly so you can relax. And then from there, breathe into your hips. And as your body softens into this pose, maybe you can come in a little bit deeper. And last deep breath here. See if you can use your inhale to deepen the posture. And your exhale to just release. Inhale, start to walk the hands up. And as you exhale, find your way into your down dog. Pedal out the feet for a moment. Release the pose. And then this time you're going to inhale your right leg up to the sky. And you're going to exhale, drawing the right knee behind the right wrist. Again, working on finding that parallel shape to the front of the mat. And again, seeing that as a guideline rather than a rule. So we're going to bring the fingertips beside the body, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, fold forwards. Finding the variation that suits you on this side. And again, noticing the sensations in your jaw, your spine, and adjusting your pose to make sure you can soften into it as much as possible. And take just a couple more deep breaths here. Remember to inhale, strengthen the pose, deepen it, and as you exhale, just soften and release. And on your next inhale, slowly walk the palms back up. Exhale to find your way into down dog. And pedal out the feet to release. And then from here, slowly bring your knees down to the ground. And take a moment just to sit back onto your heels. Bring the palms over the thighs or knees and just grow tall. And tap into the sensations in your body. Notice how you feel after the movement you've just done. Maybe there's a little bit more heat. Notice the breath also. So we always want to maintain a connection to what's happening energetically inside ourselves. So always being aware of the sensations, even the most subtle ones. And for that we need to just pause and stop sometimes just to tap in and then return to movement. So from here we're going to stack the hips above the knees. And we're going to widen the knees to about the same length as the hips. And we're going to practice half camel to start off with. So we're going to inhale and we're going to send the left hand behind us to reach for the left foot as we inhale the right arm firstly to the side and then back and over. Opening through the heart center. And then exhale through center, and we're going to switch over. Right hand comes back to foot and left hand over the side and then to the back of the room. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, come forwards, and then inhale, right hand back. Exhale, come forwards. And then inhale, left hand back this time. Inhale, come to center. This time just stand up tall, stack the hips above the knees. And then you're welcome to do that once on either side again. Or if you want, you can come into full camel by sending both hands back this time and reaching them for the feet. Send your hips forward as you open your heart to the sky. You can keep your neck supported by holding it, or you can just let the head drop towards the back, depending on what feels comfortable. And take a couple of deep breaths here. See if you can expand through your heart center, through the chest. And then inhale, slowly come up. And then exhale, widen the knees generously, bring the big toes to touch. And extend into your child's pose. Release the spine. ready, come up and extend the legs out in front of you, just to help you transition onto the ground. And then from here, hug the knees into the chest. And you might feel comfortable and happy here. And if you do, by all means, stay here and enjoy the pose. If you want to work on your hips and your groin region a little bit more, then go ahead and grab the outside of your feet. And then stack the heels above the knees as you draw them down to the ground, and press your lower back into the mat also, so that your whole spine is nice and long. And breathe into this pose. You're welcome to stay still here, or gently rock from side to side, maybe even imagining yourself as a baby doing this. Just simply enjoying the different ways in which you can move your body. And again, tapping into that sense of the weight of the body. So allow your legs to grow heavy to help you open up into the hips. Allow your tailbone to grow heavy also. And let gravity help you release into this pose. And then when you're ready, extend one leg out at a time. Drop the hands to the side. And allow your body to grow heavy again for your Shavasana. And again, notice that sense of lightness as you just release your muscles, as you just surrender to your weight, as your body comes in contact with the force of gravity. And this time, as you surrender your physical body, see if you can start surrendering your thoughts also. Let them grow heavy and sink to the ground. That doesn't mean they have to disappear, but just start to create this distance between you and your thoughts, where you can just observe them. And knowing that you are resting in the lightness of your own awareness, whilst your mind and your body grow heavy. And notice also the front of the body growing heavy and drawing towards the back of the body. Allow your jaw and your forehead to soften and melt down to the side. Allow your collarbones to soften and melt down to the side. And with every exhalation, you surrender a little bit more to the force of gravity. And for those of you who have the time, I'd like to invite you to stay in this pose as long as possible, because this is where we really reap the benefits of our practice. And maybe you'd like to go ahead and pause this video so you can really rest in silence. If you have to go, then begin to deepen your breath. Bring some movement to the fingers, the toes, and rock the head from side to side, massaging your skull. And then reach the fingertips over the head. So if you're just waking up, stretch out the whole body. And then come to roll over onto either side, whichever one feels most comfortable for you. Take a moment to breathe here. And then use your hands to stack yourself back up, coming into a comfortable seat. And then from here, placing the hands on the thighs or knees or even in your lap, wherever's comfortable. Take a deep breath in and release. This time we're going to take another deep breath in, but we're going to bring the palms to heart center and we're going to bow the chin to the chest and lift up the heart. And using this motion to remind ourselves to always keep a humble mind, but a strong and confident heart, so we can always learn and progress in life. And namaste. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope that you'll join me for our next practice.